Hi, everyone. Gael Combi here, Senior Partner Success Consultant, and welcome to the Dext Precision Training. Today, we're going to talk about prospecting, quoting, and onboarding with Dext Precision, which is the first of our three major use cases for Dext Precision. So here's what's on the agenda for today. This session will last about 20 to 25 minutes, and I will be covering prospecting with client health reviews, quoting with the activity stats, data insights with the cleanup tools, and onboarding with reports and flows. So prospecting, quoting, and onboarding helps to understand data quality and track transaction volumes in real time with instant results. Precision makes client reviews easier, faster, and more efficient when prospecting and onboarding. Activity stats can also be used for accurate data-driven pricing. And Precision combines cleanup and insight metrics to provide a unique client-friendly health score that can easily be shared across the firm. So here are some ideas that you can use prospecting, quoting, and onboarding. You can help your clients with health reviews, which is offering the service of doing health reviews for prospective clients, pricing reviews or pricing overviews, which tracks transactions to see movements to check the pricing, if the pricing is still within the correct banding, and onboarding workflows in Focus. So this is for the firm and for the team. You can create an onboarding workflow template to ensure all onboarding is delivered consistently, so all clients have the same experience. So let's see this on Dext Precision. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and start by just discussing the prospecting factor or area by looking at the health score. So you could see here some scores with hearts. These are our clients, and here is the health score. If I go into one of the clients, for instance, you'll notice that the health score changed from a 74 to a 79%. So the health score here is based on the month end of August 2022. The health score is comprised of these different cleanup tools and insights along with volume and activities to give you an overall view of where that client is sitting. So if I look on the right-hand side here and I click on export, I can export the entire health score. And this is where I was referring to earlier with, especially for prospects, you could send them this report and let them know all the work that needs to be done in the actual account. And you can offer services if they want you to clean up the books for them. So if I look here, I'm also seeing the dates that I could change. So if I change the date range, the percentage is going to change as well. Right now, it's running for the last 12 completed months. I could see the tags that I've created here. And if I scroll down, I could see the cleanup tools, the overview of the cleanup tools here. I could see the insights. And of course, I could see the activities. So let's look at the health score graph down here. So if we scroll down a little bit here, we can see the period is for the last 12 completed months, and we are viewing this weekly. You could change it to daily, or you could change it to monthly as well to see month on month how the score has been progressing and where it's at on a consistent basis. And then I have my notes section here that I can put notes for anyone else coming in the file. They will be able to see that. And then this part will take me to anything that's in the focus area. So let's start with the cleanup tools. So if I click cleanup here, we're going to start with unreconciled accounts. Now, we're currently using a QuickBooks Online integration and not a Xero integration. However, I will also be flipping between our Xero demo and QuickBooks Online for you Xero users to show you the differences between the two integrations. But to start off here, we have unreconciled accounts, or sorry, unreconciled transactions, which shows you the outstanding payments and unreconciled accounts in your accounting solution. So here we could see the reporting dates. So we're at August 2022, August 31st, that is. We could also adjust the settings here. So for a QuickBooks Online integration, we can count clear transactions as unreconciled if we check this off. But if we don't want to count them as unreconciled, we will uncheck it as well. So remember to periodically recalculate this information just in case. It does get updated automatically. However, sometimes if there is work being done in the accounting solution and you want to see it immediately in precision, you're just going to have to click on recalculate. So here we have the last transaction dates, oldest transaction, outstanding payments, and outstanding deposits. And then we have all the accounts here. Now, I know you can see unreconciled accounts in QuickBooks. However, Precision is going to show you all of them in this one page here. So you have access to all of the accounts, and this is credit card accounts and bank accounts here from this page. Now, if I click on the arrows, the drop down here, I'm going to be able to see the dates and then the balances for those dates as well. Now, if you do have an integration with a Xero account, here is how that is going to look like. It's going to say bank reconciliation. And from here, we're going to be able to see all the unreconciled transactions. You're going to see the impacts. And if there's bank accounts, we're also going to see the bank accounts as well. Now, an integration with Xero, you're able to peer into the bank feed for Xero. So it also takes into account the transactions that are still in the bank feed and hasn't been added to the ledger. So let's go back to our QuickBooks Online demo here. The next one is duplicate contacts. So duplicate contacts is going to give you the ability to see if there are any duplicates here. So in our case, I'm going to click on recalculate here just so that it can resync here and wait for that to load in. However, it is going to show me the duplicate contacts. So should there be any duplicate contacts, whether suppliers or customers, because contact represents any suppliers or any customers, we're going to be able to see if any of them were duplicated in the accounting software. And there will be a link in order to change those contacts in the accounting software. And if everything is correct, then you can just dismiss the contact. So we'll get back to this in a moment. There's multi-coded contacts. Again, suppliers or customers that have been coded to different places on different occasions. So if I have Amazon, for instance, here, Amazon has been coded to uncategorized expense. And one time it's also been coded to travel testing, right? So if I click on the drop downs, I could see the transactions in the accounting software, and I have a view in QuickBooks link here. So I have to have the company opened in a different tab. And if I click on it, it's going to take me directly to that specific transactions where I can change the information or delete the bill. I also have the ability to dismiss a transaction here. So if this notification here is something that I intended, again, Amazon is a supplier that can go to many different categories. So if I click on dismissed, it's going to be dismissed from here, and it's going to go under the dismissed section, right? So under the dismissed section, I can always undo Amazon. However, if Amazon is dismissed here as a contact, future Amazon coded transactions will be automatically dismissed as the supplier Amazon is already here. So I can click revenue, or I can click expense, or I can look at all of them. And then I have the option to select account, or I can select tax, or I can see all of them as well. So account and tax code or account, or I can also see them all. And then I have the exclusions here. So if I go back here to suggest to all, actually, let me select all and suggest it. It'll take me back here. And I could also export this section here and send it off to either colleagues or the clients themselves. Then there's dormant accounts. So with dormant accounts, it's accounts that have not been used since this specific date. I can play around with the date range. However, if there are accounts that I don't want to see in the accounting software, I can select them and I can archive those accounts. So if I archive them from here, from Precision, it's going to archive them for, in the actual accounting software as well. So this is a great way to clean up the chart of accounts. If you find that there's a lot of different chart of accounts there, instead of going in the accounting software and one by one excluding or deleting them, you can archive them immediately from here, and they will be archived in the accounting solution. For zero accounts, you will see another section here that's called contact defaults, right? So contact defaults is just the defaulted contact list here that you can see here, whether purchase or sale, so income or expenses that you're going to be able to see here. We don't have any, so you're not actually able to see any in here. We also do have the duplicate transactions for both integrations. So if I look here, I can see there's the test supplier and test supplier, another test supplier here. And these transactions have been entered in more than once. So if I click down, I could see the transactions here for test suppliers. And I could see another one for test supplier again. So if you see duplicate transactions in this section, there's a high probability that it's been entered in incorrectly, and you're going to have to go into the accounting solution and delete that transaction or one of the transactions. Now, if you do use Dext Prepare, this cleanup section makes it more easier to just, or more acceptable to turn on auto publishing, because even if there's transactions entered as a duplicate or missed or coded wrongly, the cleanup section in Precision will be able to pick it up. So you can use the auto publishing more freely and not have to worry about anything that's missed. So let's look at the insights. So with the insights, we have a range of different things, but mainly in here, we're going to look at the activity stats as we're talking about coding. Or sorry, as we're speaking about quoting different clients or making sure that the transactions or the volume is still within the same band. So here in the activity stats, you can see the revenue, the sales, the bills, credit notes, journal entries, and bank transactions there. We have the period from September 2021 to August 2022. And they could be exported as a CSV or a PDF as well. So if we scroll down, we can see the breakdowns of the periods here, right? So we're seeing from September down here, and then you're seeing a month-on-month kind of comparison all the way up until August 2022. So with this, you're able to stay on track of pricing. So let's say if you quote or if you price based on transactional volumes, you're able to stay on top of that. So if last year it grew exponentially, you'll be able to see it here for this client. So if you can stay on top of pricing, you can make sure that no money is ever kind of left on the table, that you're able to reach out to them in case you need to retalk or reprice that client. And not only that, you could also use this for reviews, right? So you can let them know where the revenue sits, where the sales, the bills, and so on sits for that client. Now, this activity stats report can also be seen for all of the clients in the practice analysis section in the activity stats. So that's everything with prospecting and quoting. So now we're moving on to our next section, which is onboarding. So Precision, you can use the focus and flows area in order to set up flow templates to properly onboard your clients. This will ensure that everyone is doing the same things or same procedures when it comes to onboarding new clients. So if I go back to our firm, we can see the focus area. So with the focus area, we're going to start by clicking first flow template. And flow templates is basically comprised of a list of different checks that someone would have to complete in order to get through a flow. So we have a variety of different examples here to start with. We have bookkeeping, templates, and so on. However, if we're talking about onboarding, we need to create a template that's going to be set up for an onboarding workflow whenever a new client is getting onboarded. So we do have an onboarding template that's here. So here are the checks that it includes. So onboarding client engagement letter sent. We have carbon flows, publish all items from prepare. And if I want to add any more checks to this flow, I can do so. So if I scroll down here, let's say I want to check activities, right? So check the activities to see where they're sitting, check the volumes. I can add it in here. Let's say I also want to clear up any dormant accounts in this flow for onboarding new clients. So we can add that here to clear dormant accounts. We already have send queries to client, I believe. No, we don't have that yet. So we can also add this as well. So if there are any checks that you don't see in here that you want to add in as custom checks, you can do so. So I'm going to save this here. But if I go to custom checks, I'm able to add a actual new check. So we have a whole bunch of custom checks already here, but I'm able to create a new check and add them here. So if this was for onboarding, just like you saw earlier, I would put onboarding just so that we can search it easier and find it. And then I would put the check here that someone would need to do. So sending engagement letter, I can tag it as well. And I have to enter, I'll just copy this. So once I save it, it's going to be saved here. And then if I go back to the flow template, I click on the onboarding. Let's say I wanted to add to this template. If I want to search for any onboarding checks, I could search onboarding, and then you could see it here. So once that's done, I click on Flow Creator. I can select a one-off flow or a repeating flow. So this one would be in a one-off flow. I click on Create, and then I would have to select which template. So we're going to go to the onboarding template here, right? And once we go next, we're setting the dates, we're setting parameters, we're adding for which client is it for, and we're also going to select who it's going to be assigned to. So we send it and assign it to someone in our team. And finally, we can also assign who's going to be reviewing a flow once that person is completed. And we'll be able to save it. So if I click on flow list here, I could see the existing list that we have, that we've created. And I will be able to look up if there is an onboarding flow already there. I will be able to look up the onboarding flow so that, let's see here. I saw one right here. So we have this onboarding flow. Here's how it's going to look like. The person, if they've completed a specific check, they can click on mark as complete. They can click on mark as complete with some issues, and they can dismiss it. There is also a section where they can put in notes. So if there's mark complete with issues, they can also put in a note so that the reviewer, once they come in, they will be able to see it. And finally, that's everything. Let's recap the session takeaways. Now we're able to understand prospecting using health score reports and cleanup tools to understand current health scores of a prospect. We're able to properly quote by running the activity stats to assist with transactional volumes for preparing quotes. And we're able to onboard, setting up onboarding flow templates to build up onboarding process and tracking progress with focused dashboard. If you have any questions, you can reach our partner success email there below, or you could visit our Dext Precision Help Center by clicking on resources in your Dext account. Thank you and enjoy.